If I told you that this student of mine learned this one simple rule and immediately had his first 3 consecutive profitable months after losing for 2 years, you'd probably just laugh it off. But here's the thing, he did it. And today, I'm going to show you the exact same rule that my student followed, together with a 4-step blueprint that you can immediately follow to achieve consistent profit. So, let me tell you how he did it. Over the past 2 years, he blew up not 2, not 5, but 27 accounts using 8 different strategies. And this resulted to him having thousands in losses. When he came to me, desperate, he said, "I don't know what to do. Please help me find the right strategy." I looked at him and said, "You already have one. You just keep abandoning it before it even had a chance to work." He thought I was dismissing him. But here's what losing traders refuse to accept. You don't have a strategy problem, you have a data problem. You're switching systems before you collect enough data to know if they actually work. And you're chasing the answer when the answer is staring right at you. I gave this student one rule. Nothing to do with entries, exits, indicators, or strategies. 11 weeks later, he had his first 3 consecutive profitable months after 2 years of losses. The rule sounds insultingly simple, but it's the invisible line separating traders with real edge from traders stuck in an endless cycle of strategy hopping. If you've been jumping from system to system waiting for one to finally work, this ends today. Point 1. The 100 trade commitment rule. The rule I gave is pretty straightforward. Pick one strategy, any strategy with a logical edge, and execute it with 0 rule changes for 100 trades. No tweaks, no optimizations, no exceptions. His reaction? 100 trades? That'll take months. What if I'm wasting time? Perfect. That's the point. Here's what he was doing, and if you're honest, what you're also doing. You execute for 12 trades, hit a losing streak, anxiety spikes. You start improving it, add RSI, switch time frames, tighten stops. You think you're optimizing. But you're actually reacting to variance, not testing strategy. Variance is random clustering of wins and losses that occurs even in profitable systems. A 65% win rate strategy can lose 8 out of 10 trades in any given sample. That's not the strategy breaking, that's just math. But when you quit at trade 15, you never discover if you had an edge. You reset to 0 and start over. Stuck in month 1, forever. He committed to 100 trades, no matter the drawdown, no matter the pain. He wouldn't change one rule until he crossed that line. This is the commitment 90% of retail never make. But here's what the data revealed when he actually followed through. Point 2. What 100 trades actually tells you. 11 weeks. 100 trades completed. Final tally, 48 wins, 52 losses. Slightly negative after commissions, just break even. Most traders see that and think, told you, doesn't work, next strategy. That's the exact moment most traders fail, not because they lack an edge, but because they can't read the data. I made this student do something uncomfortable. Forensically categorize all 52 losses. Not just loser, I mean surgical detail. Is the market consolidating? Is the volume good? How about the time of day? Is there a high-impact news event? Then the pattern surfaced. 23 of his 52 losses, which is 44% of all losing trades, occurred in one specific condition. Low-volume price action within 2 hours of scheduled high-impact news. His strategy was breakout-based, and breakouts in low-volume pre-news environments don't follow through. They fake out. That's not a strategy flaw, but a mismatch between method and market condition. We didn't change the strategy, we added one filter. If volume is below the 20-period MA and high-impact news is within 120 minutes, skip the trade. One rule, derived entirely from his own data. But here's where 90% of traders destroy everything they just built. Point 3. You must retest the refinement. I told him, Now, run another 100 trades with that filter. He stared at me like I'd lost my mind. Here's the trap. If you don't retest your adjustment with the same sample size, you have no idea if you improved your edge or just got lucky. Say he skips pre-news setups and wins 4 in a row. He'd assume he fixed it. But that could be variance temporarily rewarding a change that doesn't help long-term. So he did it, and the second 100 trade cycle reveals the truth. Here's the results after that one filter. 58 wins, 42 losses. Positive expectancy of 1.8 R per trade. Suddenly, consistently profitable. Removing 23% of his trades, the statistically poisonous ones, turned a break-even system into a proven edge. He didn't learn a better strategy. He didn't add complexity. He stopped taking the trades that were systematically killing him, and the data proved it. But there's a psychological ambush waiting in the middle of this process, and if you don't see it coming, you'll sabotage everything. Point 4. The discipline ambush. Around his trade 34, this student texted me, "I just skipped a setup that turned out to be a 4R winner. This is torture." I replied, "Good. That means you're doing this correctly." Here's the ambush. Midway through your 100 trade commitment, you will see phenomenal setups that don't fit your rules. You'll be tempted to take discretionary trades, or add just one quick, tiny bit of adjustment. Don't. The second you break the rules, you corrupt the data. You're no longer testing strategy A. You're testing strategy A plus emotional override plus selective rule following. You've turned your experiment into noise. He held the line. He took trades he hated and skipped trades that looked perfect. He logged every decision without deviation. That discipline produced clean, actionable data. Dirty data gives you false patterns. False patterns give you bad refinements, and bad refinements keep you stuck. Traders who win long-term aren't smarter, they're just more disciplined about honoring their testing process. And here's what that discipline unlocked. Point 5. The confidence compound. After cycle 2 confirmed the edge, he asked, "Should I run a third cycle to find more patterns?" I said, "Only if the data shows another clear cluster." He analyzed cycle 2. Losses were distributed randomly, and no obvious pattern was seen, just normal variance within a positive expectancy system. And that's the key. You're not trying to eliminate all losses. You're eliminating systematic inefficiencies. Random losses are just the cost of doing business. But systematic losses are inefficiencies you can remove with filters. His strategy went from break-even to profitable by removing one systematic pattern. That's it. But here's the real transformation. He now trades with confidence. He knows his win rate, his average R multiple, and which conditions to avoid. He can size positions intelligently because he has real data, not hope. When he hits a losing streak now, he doesn't panic switch. He asks, "Are these losses in my filtered conditions, or is this just variance inside my edge?" Usually, it's variance, and so he keeps executing. That mindset shift from hope to knowledge is what separates professionals from gamblers. Here's what actually turned my student profitable: the 4-step framework. Step 1. Pick one logical strategy. Execute it perfectly for 100 trades. 0 changes. Then ask, does the strategy have an edge? Or is it a break-even to slightly losing strategy? If it has an edge, great, you just found something that prints money over time. But if it doesn't, you proceed to the second step. Step 2. Analyze your losses for systematic patterns. Is there any observable patterns that occurred before you take the entry? Step 3. Remove the conditions killing you with one data-backed filter. If the pattern is repeating for at least 30% of all the losses and has a net negative expectancy of minus 0.30 R, consider it gone. Step 4. Retest that refinement for another 100 trades to confirm the edge. If it shows positive expectancy, then you have it. You now just turned that unprofitable system to profitable. Now all you have to do is to execute it with disciplined confidence. When you do this, you stop chasing, you stop guessing, and you finally know whether you have an edge worth trading. Most traders quit around trade 30. That's why most traders never get profitable. Not because edges don't exist, but because they never commit long enough to find theirs. But let me be brutally honest with you. Even when you found your edge, proven it with a clean data, and committed to executing it, there's still an itch in yourself left. You've done everything right. You found your edge. You tested it. You committed to it. But there's still one enemy left. You. That tiny voice in your head that says, "Profit is running, so I'll secure some profits off for now. Better pay the trader than let it reverse against me." That impulse that makes you want to mess with the trade. That itch that makes you want to control the outcome on a perfect setup. You're not undisciplined. You're not weak. You're just fighting a trigger that fires milliseconds before you even clicked that close position. And unless you know how to control it, it will sabotage every edge you ever find, no matter how good that edge is. The next video is a masterclass on self-mastery in trading. I reveal what's happening in your brain during that critical moment, why willpower alone will never fix it, and the exact framework that rewires the response. This is the final barrier between you and consistent profitability. Watch it next. Until then, trust your edge, execute with consistency, and remember, the market rewards clarity, not complexity. This is the Symmetry Protocol.